it's a little dodgy, the whole where I'm from thing. It's confusing, but I'll start at the beginning. Born in eastern Kentucky in Ashland, Kentucky. Moved to Chicago when I was 3 months old. My dad, a lot of bluegrass and a lot of country music. Both my parents played music and sang. Mom sang more country stuff, Patsy Cline, Tammy Wynette, early Tammy Wynette. Dad was bluegrasser, and he and his brothers had a great, very well-known bluegrass band called, guess what? The Sloas Brothers. But they were awesome, man. Legends up around Bean Blossom, Indiana, up through East Chicago, down through Dayton, Ohio. That whole sort of Midwestern, they were booming in the 60s with bluegrass. It was before you guys were around, but I was barely around enough to catch it. So we moved to Chicago, and Dad just looking for work, like everybody did from the South. A bunch of us from Kentucky moved up to East Chicago. Took the family, and that's where I was until I was about 8. Kind of coming back and forth, you know, like you do. You go home for Christmas, you go home for the summer in Kentucky, and then back up. When I was around 10 or 11, we moved to Dayton, Ohio, Fairborn, Ohio. That's when I really started playing with my brother in bands. Air Force Base there called Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Did a bunch of sort of growing up there. And then I moved here when I was 17 years old with Margot Smith. That's how I got here, with Margot. And I got here and quit. I got here and quit my only job. But I started writing songs for Ronnie Millsap at Mad Lad publishing company over there. And he cut one of my songs, and I was just excited. I was going to be a songwriter when I grew up. Remember, I'm 17 at that point. So played some bass. I think I had one bass, and I kept it in the trunk of the car, hoping for a gig. I'm still hoping for a gig. When I came here, by the time I graduated high school, I had been in every state except 3. I was not cut out for the road, I guess, so I thought I'd just do some songwriting, and eventually started doing some studio work, I guess. I love producing. You know, the guy that I've been working with for the last year and a half named Jared Neiman, and he's just an awesome artist. It's really fun. To me, getting to create something and see it through every step of the way, hands-on, is just a blast. It's just a blast. You know, I get to play on it as a bass player, so that's fun, but really it's just about the whole process, and then at the end of it all, you know, kind of having that experience to draw from. Producing is what I really love more. I have gotten till I hate writing. I hate it, and I just don't know that I'm very good at it, but I do, and I enjoy it like a couple times a year, just to kind of cleanse the palate and write something. But there's so many great songwriters. It's the, you know, what am I doing trying to even step my foot in that pool? Everybody in Nashville is great, better than me anyway. So, but playing bass, producing, I love that. We met, maybe 6 years ago. We were writing together, writing for another artist, and we just hit it off. We just did this record that's been out a little while on I think it's Eris, Sony, cats over there, Gary Overton, everybody are just sweet to him. He's killer. We had a #1 so far. One #1. We got another single out right now, so that's fun. It's just fun to let somebody else take over and do the work after you've done the work. And man, they work hard. Record companies, man, they are not the enemy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They're really doing all they can to help.